Should we talk about Deadpool?
Yeah, Deadpool. Yeah, I got Adamantium Rage behind me right now.
And behind Nina, there's the ROM hack for Deadpool for NES. Move out of the way, Nina. Yeah. So here's the deal. How often does we tend to record these on Thursdays? The movie came out today. Like early screenings are today. EJ and I at the time of recording have seen the brand spanking new movie. Both of us. I left work a half hour early, ran and saw the movie, and have come back.
Out of my way, jerkers!
Yeah, usually you have to wait like 2 weeks after the movie already premiered.
So I have no idea what you think of it. You have no idea what I think of it. How should we do this?
So let's just vaguely first, before we get into spoilers, let's just vaguely talk about what we felt about the movie.
The whole thing's gonna be spoilers, 100%. She over here, she doesn't care about any spoilers for any movie ever. She reads the Wikipedias before she sees the movies, and so I thought it'd be fun. We could, as kind of a freak show, we could talk about the movie in front of her.
This is our version.
But if you don't want it, if
Lol Cow podcast.
Yeah, that's right. Lol Cow spoilers.
So I'll just say on my feelings. I thought it was fun as like a cathartic piece of media in this summer season. It was fun. I think kind of as a movie, it's bad. I don't think it's a good movie. I think it's like a Family Guy episode where there's a lot of things that are good, funny, and fun in it, good action scenes, but it's not a good movie. I don't think so.
The way I would describe it quickly would be a really bad first act. It was just so much plot, and the plot was nonsensical, and it was trying to make the multiverse elements all kind of line up. And truth is, I don't like him when he doesn't have his mask on. And that's been the case for all three movies. Deadpool, that is. When he's got the crater face or whatever, I find I really like when the mask is on because it's got those expressive little white eyes, and they're really funny and kind of Bugs Bunny-ish.
You feel like he can't act through the makeup?
Yeah, and I just think it's funnier to not see any, like, to have all of that comical chatter, but the only facial expression you get
a little more deadpan.
Yeah, a little more Deadpool. But when it's off, it's him doing his Ryan Reynolds eyes, and I'm just like, not, yeah. And I do find like it's very off-putting because it's so ugly too. There's that element to it. I just want him in his suit shooting stuff, which you do get plenty of. But yeah, there was the whole thing with the TVA, which is the thing from Loki.
Even like he's like, oh, when they go into the void, he's like, oh, that's the thing from like season 1, episode 5 of Loki, lampshading like how much like freaking homework we have to do in these.
Oh yeah, you want to talk about?
I'm not going to do any homework.
Listen, you've already done most of the homework because this movie has so many cameos and so many references. It's like 30 years of homework. You need to know like movie news to understand some of the jokes in this.
Yeah, I don't think this will age very well because it is. Having it so much beyond the TVA, I think, is a huge mistake. It was just
it's this idea that there's multiverses, but there's a sacred timeline, which is the primary Marvel timeline, the one that Tony Stark dies in and all that. That's the sacred timeline, and that they're always trying to make it so that nothing threatens the sacred timeline, or they're trying to make it so that there aren't like strands that go off into a million directions. I don't really even understand the plot, to be honest.
Yeah, because it's kind of confusing because in season 2 of Loki, they allow multiverses, and so they have to like jam that into this one. Yeah, there's some confusing.
You're totally confused. And they were like, your world, which in effect is the Fox X-Men world, right?
Yeah.
The Fox X-Men world is threatened because a base person or a foundational human being has died, and that's going to mean death for your whole world. And that person is Logan from Logan. So the opening of the film is he digs up Logan's body to try, because he's like, oh, he'll just regenerate. But it's just this dead skeleton from Logan, the one with the X in the whatever. So then he's like, oh, so I'll use time hopping to find a different Logan because he doesn't want his own world to die. And there's a really funny scene where he goes through and finds like many different kinds of Logans played by Hugh Jackman. from different art styles and comic books and storylines. The funniest one being there's like a comic book accurate one, in as much as he's really short. So there's like a Hugh Jackman that's like really like Danny DeVito sized.
There's a Henry Cavill. Logan.
And so why is that funny? Well, it's because there's been an internet rumor for quite a while that Henry Cavill is going to play Wolverine someday. So like, if you don't know that.
And then he references DC being like, oh, they'll treat you better than the people down the street or whatever, you know.
How does Deadpool know about this?
It's a great question. The TVA captures him and they inform him of all this. And I don't know.
Yeah, because he's having like a birthday in the boring beginning.
Yes.
And for some reason, they break him up with his girlfriend again. I don't know why. Or
yep. Yet again, yeah, the chick from Firefly. They break him up. They're broken up. Oh yeah, because he meets with Jon Favreau and tries to join the Avengers 6 years ago, and he's denied. And then like that somehow leads to their breakup.
Jon Favreau, like the dude who works for Iron Man, or Jon Favreau, like we have like a fourth wall joke?
No. The guy who works, Happy Hogan.
Okay.
And he's like de-aged or something. He looks odd.
Totally true. Anyway, this eventually leads to he goes on like a search for a different Logan. He's going to bring this Logan at some other Logan into this world and have him restore everything, thinking that will work because the TVA is gonna prune that entire timeline. That's what the TVA will do. Instead, they prune Logan and Deadpool. Logan, who's in the yellow suit now. And they end up in this kind of limbo at the edge of time, which is what they did in Loki, the show. They're at like the edge of time. And that's where now you're in this kind of like make-believe world where anything can happen and the movie can go apeshit for a while. So the movie goes apeshit for an entire second act. The idea is that Charles Xavier's sister, who's extremely powerful and evil and crazy, is basically like the warlord of this world, of this like limbo world. And there's like a thing from Loki as well that like eats people at the edge of time. And so like either you have to deal with her or you have to get eaten by the thing. So the first like big joke is there's like a guy shows up like in a cloak and you know it's going to be your first cameo. And he's like, he's here. Like the superhero to end all superheroes. And he takes off his hood and it is in fact Chris Evans.
And you see some like blue underneath the hood, so you like assume it's Captain America.
So he goes, he's like, he's gonna say it. He's gonna say Avengers Ascent, and he goes, flame on. And he's actually Johnny Storm from the Fantastic Four movie from 2005 because he played him in that one. There's gonna be a lot of jokes like this.
Oh.
The best jokes are that, and it is kind of fun as a celebration of just like 20th Century Fox, like these universes.
I thought that was just the fact that they got Chris Evans to come back at all, and then to do that gag, it was pretty funny. Logan's very grumpy. You find out that this Logan was somehow partially responsible for the death of the X-Men in his world. So he's depressed and drunk.
He got like drunk one night and then like he said humans came and killed everybody, but that doesn't make sense. You can't do that.
Can't do it.
What do you mean?
Right.
You can't just be a group of humans and just like kill all the X-Men at night. You can't do it.
It doesn't make sense, but whatever. So they fight each other a lot. And then it becomes like Mad Max where a ton of mutants from the 20th Century Fox movies come. Pyro. Remember Pyro from X2?
Yeah.
Remember the first Sabretooth, the one from the first movie? The very first movie, the one with like the long hair and like the black eyes. He worked for Magneto. Okay, well, he's in it. Who else? The Juggernaut from the Brett Ratner movie. The one that goes, "I'm the Juggernaut, bitch." He's there. They're all there. And they escape from Xavier's sister. They fight a lot. They argue a lot. And they end up finding some freedom fighters. And those freedom fighters are the following people. Channing Tatum as Gambit. In accurate costume. Acting like Gambit would. They make a joke about how they're like, I know you really wanted to play Gambit and it just never really worked out for you, did it? But
because in 2020 there was supposed to be a Gambit movie, but it was canceled.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be starring Channing Tatum.
Jennifer Gardner comes out. She's Elektra again. Remember when she played Elektra in the 2000s? She's there. They got her.
It's like, oh, Daredevil. And then it's like, I'm sorry. And she's like, it's okay.
Oh, that's a joke for the ladies. That's nice.
That's okay. They got who else? Wesley Snipes as Blade.
Motherfucker, are you out of your damn mind?
He's back.
Yeah, that was awesome. I literally clapped when I saw that. I thought that was so fucking awesome.
That was pretty incredible. And this is what I mean by you need to know movie news because he's like I'm the only Blade there ever was, and I'm the only Blade there's ever going to be.
And then he like looks at the camera.
Because they've been planning a Blade movie for a while, and they like can't get this fucking thing off the ground. Finally, you know, I think in X-23, the girl, but she's like 18 years old now, so she's like a full-blown woman, but she's got her claws and she's doing her thing from Logan. That's
the little Spanish.
I got to you want my clap moment where I actually I got a huge smile ear to ear. They're all in their costumes, and so she doesn't have a costume. She's just like a kid. But she takes out like those plastic sunglasses she had in the movie and puts those on.
That's cute.
And I was like, that's awesome. I really love Logan. That's a great movie. So whatever, they end up in a big fight or something with the sister. And at this point, I'm like, you know, I'm enjoying some of the seal clap moments here, but like this movie is just fucking too crazy for me to like follow.
It's tied together with shoestring because it doesn't feel like a real movie like at all. But then there's moments where they like stop into a dramatic thing where it's like, oh, are they trying to be a movie?
Yeah.
And then it moves on.
There's like suddenly pathos.
It sounds like too much of a parody, like a date movie or like a scary movie.
It did. It
A
did
little
feel that
bit.
way.
Like we're just referencing other movies.
It totally feels that way. Yeah, they might as well have Borat doing nice.
But they paid a lot of really expensive people to do it.
But the third act I loved. Like I actually like, and yeah, it's crazy too. But I was like, okay, the third act for me was totally worth the whole, like, because the question is how is the fan service working for you or not? And so they use like a Doctor Strange portal. The two of them jump through it. They're back in their worlds, and somehow like every multiverse Deadpool, like there's a hot woman one, there's like a Chinese one, there's like a kid one, there's tons of them.
Yeah, because Xavier's sister there wants to like prune like all timelines, so
Right.
she's like gonna take over the pruning machine, and she summons all these Deadpools to stop Deadpool and Wolverine.
Logan and Deadpool are gonna fight all of them at once.
That was a cool shot.
That's when they walk out to I hear you call my name. What they're facing off against is a shitload of Deadpools. And what they in the trailer, what they cut was like they cut right before it happens. Wolverine pops the mask with the white eyes, and he looks amazing. And he looks like Wolverine, and it's incredible. And then the two of them go cutting through a shitload of to Madonna, a shitload of and there are a lot of these kind of ironic pop songs to explosions.
The stakes of this film though feel bigger than Deadpool. It feels like someone else should have been involved in this. Like, yeah, maybe some actual event.
Well, remember
somebody.
Feige has been saying for the last few weeks, like his quote was, if Infinity War was a 9 in terms of impact on Marvel, and if Endgame was a 10, this would be like an 8. And all as far as how things will move from here for influence. And all I have to say, I think all it really accomplished
is that we're getting an Elektra sequel.
was I think it put to bed the Fox X-Men. Or the Fox, the whole Fox Marvel universe. Oh. It seemed to me like that. There's when he's talking to all the Deadpools, Deadpool goes, "Can we just stop?" They're like, "What?" He's like, "The multiverse thing. It's miss after miss after miss." Yeah, but the movie is doing it. To me, this felt like a Spider-Verse kind of situation.
Yeah, and even when he gets this failed Wolverine, or he just gets him and abduct him, he's like, "Welcome to the MCU. You've entered at kind of a low point."
Oh, yeah.
So they acknowledge their failures a little bit, but but they also they're doing the multiverse thing, so it's
and they do a big moment where they have to both hold hands and stop the giant machine before it ends all timelines or whatever. But it rips Wolverine's shirt, and it's Hugh Jackman with all the abs, and it cuts to Deadpool looking at him like with the little white eyes and stuff. But he still has the mask on. He looks fucking awesome. And
so you like it. So you like that shot because he's got the mask on.
The mask made it and at this point there's a remixed orchestral version of Like a Prayer that's rocking through during this epic
rocking
moment.
Through their bodies and his abs.
It's amazing. And he's like, they're like, "How did you survive?" And Deadpool's like, "Well, if it was just one of us, but Wolverine and Deadpool holding hands, listening to Madonna, we survived." And then
At least the rules are clear.
he gets back together with his girlfriend. Logan reunites with X-23. It's really cute to see Hugh Jackman and this girl together. I really like Logan.
Should we just watch Logan again?
Yeah, totally. Just he says early on, he's like, now how are we going to do this without desecrating the amazing accomplishment that was Logan? We're not. Which is true.
He starts digging up the body.
He starts digging up the body.
It's pretty good. That fight scene was cool too in the beginning.
The opening one, yeah. Oh, I got a little fatigued by all the F-bombs. Like the extent to which including Logan, what the fuck are you doing? Fuck that and fuck this. The whole movie was.
Maybe it's because I grew up on like the X-Men cartoon, but yeah, that doesn't.
It's just a little much after a while.
Takes me out of it.
Would I recommend it? Of course. Like if you've been watching these movies.
Would you recommend it to me?
No.
Should I take the time out of my day to go see this film?
No. You and I would have a fun time watching it at home, probably, one time, and then maybe you'd enjoy.
Should I leave work a half an hour early to go see it?
Out of my way, jerk ass!
No. What does it sound like to you? Do you feel like you get it?
It sounds like a mess.
It's a mess.
Again,
it's a fucking mess.
It is a mess.
Sounds like I would watch it, and yeah, I feel like I was watching a parody film.
I remember when they first announced it. Everybody's like, "Ooh, how are they going to do that?" And I was like, "Oh no, we've got it figured out." I'm like, "No, you don't."
No, you don't. It's just a bunch of jokes strung together. They try to make some emotional moments, but they ring hollow because they don't quite work.
But I will during the credits, they start rolling some video yearbook style video of gag reels of Hugh Jackman at age 30 or whatever, and not just that, but they've got Michael B. Jordan from the Fanforstic movie. They've got all the Fox Marvel properties they're playing as in like a video yearbook style. And what song do you think that they played to that video yearbook?
That like Time of Your Life song?
Yes. Yes, Queen. Hope you have the time of your life.
Can I admit something here? I have a little confession. It works on me.
Yeah, the end credits were amazing. It was like a better send off to Fox than Fox ever gave.
Yeah.
So in a way, the movie does feel like kind of like a fun celebration, even if it is like madcap and crazy.
Because you haven't seen some of these people in a long time. Jennifer Garner as Elektra and Wesley Snipes as Blade, and yeah, it's just a full blown like here's Fox's Marvel, and it doesn't really crisscross all that much with the Disney Marvel. It's you get Happy Hogan, you get Chris Evans, but it's not Disney Chris Evans, it's Fox Chris Evans.
There is a running gag where he's shown like the future where like Thor is over him like weeping, and he's like he's really enchanted by that idea.
Oh, yeah, every time he woke up from like a nightmare, he's like Thor. He's got like a dog that he really loves. But sometimes some of the scenes, did you feel like that first like that? Yeah, Jon Favreau looked de-aged, and also did you feel like the scene was weird, like the editing and and like the pacing of that like dialogue scene was strange,
and also like I know he breaks the fourth wall, but that's a different universe. So like, how did he get there?
Yeah.
I don't want to like nitpick this dumb movie. But I was kind of confused. Like, how does he jump through universes that early in the film?
It reminded me quite a bit of sometimes they'll do these Sentai or Power Rangers reunions where they'll get like all these different Power Rangers from different eras and they'll do a big team up or whatever. This felt very much like that. It felt like 30 years of loosely tied together franchises trying to do something with them. It's just like kind of honestly, it's more like a reunion.
So this is a movie for us old people.
Yeah. Well, of course, right? Because it's very rated R. There's no children should not be going to this.
Well, no, but even like with someone in their 20s,
I'm sure they'd have fun because it's fun, but you'd miss a lot of it. When Jennifer Garner shows up, you're not going to give a shit, When Wesley Snipes shows up, you're not going to give a shit. Like you have to be pretty entrenched in this stuff for like Jennifer Garner to mean anything to you.
Yeah, you have to like watch Alias with your girlfriend in high school.
Yeah.
What I did appreciate about the film is that the cameos were pretty substantial. Like they interacted quite a bit. It's not like in a Multiverse of Madness where they show up and they just like pop and die instantly. They take a part in a very extensive fight scene, and they're given a pretty good send off.
So it's way better. I don't know. Name a Marvel movie in the past 5 or 6 years. It's better than it, with the exception of Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which is one of the best Marvel movies ever made. Yeah, it'll probably make some money. I mean, it's fun. It's breezy. It's starring great people. Hugh Jackman is. Did you feel like, I felt like for the first half, Hugh Jackman wasn't well realized in it. I was like, I'm not like feeling like they really are getting their money out of him. But then in the second half, I thought they really did. He's better. He's better now than he's like in his prime to play Wolverine. It doesn't feel like they're like, oh, and because he survives at the end, and they're like, you'll be able to survive and continue to be part of the X-Men or something. And Deadpool goes, until you're 90.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like Disney will make you do this for 90 years.
He goes, will I see you again? And when Hugh Jackman goes, probably not. Hugh Jackman is pretty funny and charming in it. He's a good foil. I think having Josh Brolin as Cable would have been nice, but
yeah, I thought maybe it was a because he did an interview recently where he says he's not in it, and I thought maybe it was a misdirect, like maybe he's lying, but no, he's not in it.
They said he didn't focus group well. They said that in the movie. They're like, some of the X-Men didn't focus group well, like Cable in particular, or something. I don't know if that's true. I have a note here that just says Marvel jizz, total nonsense.
Yeah, that's true. Let me see. I took some notes. I did like when Chris Evans died. He said like, "Oh, good thing he's dead." Like, do you know what he did to the budget? It's pretty good. I like the Honda Odyssey fight. I thought was really fun. Just
oh yeah, that was great.
Banging the shit out of the Honda Odyssey.
They had a coexist bumper sticker on the back.
Yeah, they got.
They're in like that limbo, but they were able to get like a Honda Odyssey from an Elseworld, like Deadpool.
Was it purple or blue?
I think so. Was it blue?
I don't know.
It was this Elseworld Deadpool he was named Nice Pool, and it's Ryan Reynolds like with long hair and like a really pretty face and no mask because he looks great, and he's like, it costs nothing to be kind, and he doesn't regenerate this particular one, so like if he dies, he dies. He uses him as like a human shield to fend off against a bunch of people. It's this other Ryan Reynolds getting riddled with bullets, and he's like, look at me and tell me, I'm gonna live.
I like when he's getting an argument with Deadpool and he starts breaking the fourth wall, and then Nice Pool's like, I can nudge the fourth wall too, and he just looks at the camera and just goes, the proposal. And he's like, that's not. It's like, that's not how you do. You think that's what I do?
What was the Van Wilder joke he made?
Yes, Bland Wilder, something like that.
Yeah, hey, Bland Wilder. Anyway, look, it's a good movie, even though it's a horrible movie.
Yeah, it's like not a movie. It's just like, if you liked Fox Marvel properties, you probably have to see this.
That's a good point about the cameos being substantial, because I feel like even like Spider-Verse did that well too, where like Jamie Foxx really is in the movie. Willem Dafoe like really is in that movie. They don't just like pop in and out. Where they're just like a day player against a green screen or something. Like these people were actually on set. It probably is the best you'll ever get of Gambit. I don't think you'll get better for Gambit than that.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, blowing shit up with purple cards and stuff.
Brown coat.
Yeah, Cajun accent.
Yeah, very like so Cajun you can't really understand him.
Yeah,
calling people shit.
It's like, get a dialect coach.
I think that was probably because I think he's from New Orleans. Channing Tatum is, and so I think he was like always really excited to do the Cajun thing because he felt like he could do it confidently. Anyway, yeah, go see it.
Yeah, if you like it, if you like those things, if you like have never dipped your toes into that Marvel Fox, then I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, if this is your first superhero movie, I do not recommend. It's neither going to be coherent nor is it a good representation of what a superhero movie even is. It's like you said, Family Guy is a pretty good analogy, where it's like it's a sketch show that pretends to be a sitcom, but it's not really a sitcom. This is more like almost like a superhero sketch movie with occasional moments of pathos. It's really fucking weird.
It is weird, and it's probably like it's not a good Deadpool movie either. Like the first Deadpool is probably the best.
Yeah, in some ways it was like he is just a vehicle for, but they didn't like lose him in it. He is in like the whole thing. He's very prominent.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, if out of these three, if I were to rank them, I'd say Deadpool's probably the first one's the best.
Yes.
Then this one, and then the second one. I don't think I like the second one all that much.
Yeah, I remember liking some of that. I like the fight with Juggernaut at the end. I think I like the Cable stuff. I like the X-Force when they all like fell out of the plane and died immediately. Do you remember that?
I don't remember any of this. This is the least memorable.
I just remember the kid was annoying.
Can you believe I spent money on her movie tickets and then she doesn't remember a thing about it?
I've seen a lot of superhero stuff now.
Yeah. Well, you'd understand this film.
I just don't remember any of it.
Does listening to it make you go, oh, I'd like to see that?
Just open a Wikipedia page while you watch it. You're like, oh, right, that's the reference.
I'm married to my Wikipedia page. I'll just have him explain it to me.
Frankopedia?
I'll have you mansplain to me the whole film.
Frank GPT?
Sometimes mansplaining can be a lovely experience.
This is when I need it. This is when it's appropriate.
Husband-splaining? Yeah. It's a little bit more loving.
Oh, I'm just not in the mood for a bunch of mansplaining today.
I don't want someone coming into my home and mansplaining my wife.
Subscribe to Red Cow Entertainment on Patreon for full episodes every other week.